Yeah, this is a game that I am working on, and it can be a solitaire game or it can be a multiplayer game where everybody is on the same side.
Right.
Would be the cavalry, and then the Indians are system controlled. Uh, it's based on a game called Pony Wars.
Okay.
Kind of my reimagining of it, and it
Right.
is set in the 1840s through the 1870s, anytime you want, in basically the Panhandle area of Texas,
Right.
what was called the Staked Plains, which was the land of the lords of the Southern Plains, the Comanches. Okay, so I'm gonna act as the game master. You are going to command the cavalry. Now, your job is to, number one, kill hostiles. Number two, you are responsible for the safety of any civilians on the table. So what you would need to do is to get the civilians into the fort, and then they're safe. Okay, now to start out with, you have all right. 20 troopers makes a troop. All right, so you have two half troops here. You can break them down into 5-man units if you want. Okay, so what you got here is a 10-man unit, mounted. They can, of course, dismount. You have a Gatling gun. You have a mountain howitzer, and you have 4
Scouts.
Right, they would be probably would be Apache scouts or maybe Delaware. The Apache were the blood enemy of the Comanche. The Comanche were the blood enemy of the Texans, and vice versa. They hated each other's guts. Okay, so what you have also here, you have a supply wagon. It has 24 supplies in it. Each unit has a tracker, which goes from 0 to 100, which is your stress points that you take when you engage in combat. Once you hit 100, then
Right.
you're off the board, or you go back to the fort. If you're an Indian, you go off the board. All right, so and then everybody has a little yellow die. I have some die holders on order to put them on here so they don't, so we don't move around, but I don't have them yet. So anyway, the troopers have single shot. This is post Civil War, so they have single shot breech loading carbines,
Okay.
and they, with 6 shots, 6 ammos,
Okay.
and then they also have, each one of them has a 6-shooter pistol with 6 shots. So first 6 times you fire, you're just going to automatically be your
Right.
carbines, and then after that, yeah, and then if you run out of ammo, then you'll have to go over here or bring the wagon up within 3 inches and spend a turn, and then you're fully charged again. For simplicity's sake, we're going to say this is a generic wagon, so it can also supply rifle, pistol, artillery, and Gatling gun ammo. Okay. All of the Indians will have will use bow range. They may, there may be some Indians that had rifles, but most of the accounts that I've read by the soldiers that fought them thought that the Indians were really bad shots and they were terrible about keeping their weapons clean and so forth. So I'm just going to say they used bow range. Now, it's possible that you could have gun runners enter the board by card draw, and it's possible that they could get to the Indians and arm them with Henry repeaters. That would be a bad thing for the cavalry. So, you get points for killing hostiles and rescuing civilians. You got 2 homesteads. I'll see if I can get this on here. I'm going to try to. All right, you got a homestead right there, and there's 6 civilians.
Right.
And on this side of the board, you also have one with 6 civilians. All right, so
Oh, I got 2 groups.
you got 2 groups, and there could be some that enter the board too by card draw. Okay, so get this guy set here. Okay, all right.
How
So,
far can a gun shoot?
well, you got a chart right there. Range on the, let's see, bow range is 10 for close,
Yeah, I see.
20 for long. Artillery is 20, 40. Gatling gun is 15 and 30. All right, now you remember basically how the combat stuff goes. So, first thing we do, get out 2d6, and we got to roll to see how good your leaders are. Every unit has some kind of an officer. You're going to roll 2d6, and we'll start with this guy.
11.
11. Oh, this guy's a 3. Okay, 3. One is the worst. 3 is the best. So this guy's a 3, which is damn good. All right. The officer in command of the artillery. 10. That is a 0. Yeah. Well, you balance it off here. So this guy's
Is it a 0?
this guy's a real dickhead. Yeah, I'm sorry. 0 is the worst. 4 is the best. All right, Gatling gun.
Okay. I got 11 before and I got 0 with that guy.
A 10 is a 0. Yeah.
7.
That's going to be a 2. A 2 will be the. All right, and then your Delaware Scouts.
4.
Yeah, they're a 1, which is about right. Okay. All right, and then the other cavalry unit,
5.
and that is going to be a 2. All right. Now, we do the same thing when the Indians, when the hostiles arrive. There are no hostiles on the board at the start. So the sequence of play is I draw a card, and we do what the card says, and then we move the Indians. I move the Indians according to the instructions on the system. Fight with the Indians, and then you go ahead and take your turn. Now, I want to point out a couple other things here. You'll notice that at the fort here, you've got, I'm going to move this over here. All right, right here you have the cattle herd, which is what feeds your soldiers, and you have a 4-man detachment of infantry, class 1 infantry, which job is to guard the cows. All right, same thing over here. This is the horse herd. This is your remounts. If you have blown horses or whatever during the game, you get back to the fort, you can get fresh horses if they're there. Understand that the hostiles are licking their chops to get those guys. So, all right, I got some here.
Now, is there guys in the fort to reinforce?
Well, possibly, yes, and that can come out. Yeah, card draw will determine that, or they could either come from the fort or possibly somewhere on the board. Okay, trying to get this camera set here. Hold on, and bear with me, guys. Yeah. All right, one more try here. Hold on. I should have had this done at the start. That's a little better. Let you guys see a little bit more of the situation here. All right. So we'll go ahead and start, and we'll take it slow. All right, first thing we do is every turn we draw one card. So, first card is Stagecoach enters. All right, and that's going to enter on the far side of the table from the fort. And it has a driver who is armed with a pistol,
Right.
and also a shotgun rider who is armed with a shotgun. And passengers are 6 soiled doves who are headed for the fort for the sexual enjoyment of the soldiers. So, by all means, you need to protect those boys. Protect that, here. So, all right, he's going to come on and see here. His movement rate is, let's see here,
Doesn't say.
wagons. Doesn't say wagons.
Says dismounted non-Indians, mounted non-Indians,
Oh.
Gatling guns.
All right, well, okay, we'll go with, I gotta add that then, add wagons.
Yeah,
Okay, we're gonna give it a 10 inches,
well, they would go faster, wouldn't they, or not?
faster than guns, right?
Yeah, 'cause they had them teams.
Yeah. All right, we'll go 12, we'll say 12 inches for those guys. So, he is gonna go here.
I don't know for how long they could keep it up, but
Well, yeah. All right. All right, since no hostiles entered the the board, well, no, you now have the responsibility, added responsibility of protecting the stage, so.
Right.
There's no hostiles. Bobo, come here. Bo. Come here. Come here. Out here, out here, out here. Down, down. Okay, that's a good dog. Okay, now, your turn then.
I gotta draw a card or?
No, you just take up your measuring stick and move troops if you want to, or you don't have to.
Okay, the Indians can move 8. No, mounted Indians
Yeah.
16.
Yep. The
Can
function,
they split? 2 go this way and 2 the other?
yeah, you can do that. Well, no, I'm gonna say for simplicity right now, let's keep them together as one unit. Their job basically is scouting passes. Anywhere you see a pass on the table, there could be engines in there that are wanting to kill your ass. So their job is to scout out for that. So they also are prone to desert.
Yeah, okay.
The cactus are strictly eye candy. They don't have any purpose. So you'll notice that the tracking device, yeah, you got to keep them together at least. Keep them like within 2 inches of each other.
Okay.
Yeah, the tracking device has a U, and the unit has a U, so that just, once they start getting mixed up, they'll be able to tell easily. You can just tell me what you want to do, if you want me to move some of these guys.
Yeah, just move them this way, I guess.
This one?
Yeah,
All right.
just 12.
Okay,
They only go 12.
correct. There, all right, since he's gonna do a little bit of a wheel,
Right,
I'm gonna measure from the outside corner
right.
and move him like that, okay. All right, what about the mountain howitzer? Or the Gatling gun? Or, anything, you don't have to move them, but.
Go with that unit.
The Gat or the howitzer?
Let me see.
The howitzer is really good against infantry because, against hostiles because the explosion is a bad modifier when they check morale. They tend to run away from that, so. Okay,
Yeah, moving with that group.
the howitzer.
Yeah, everything to get, yeah, cause I gotta keep the supply wagon, everything.
Uh-huh,
Might as well keep all the supplies going with that.
okay. Okay, the Gatling gun, gonna move like dismounted infantry,
Right,
so that's 8.
so how much? Is there troops in that fort to come out?
Nope, not yet. They may by card draw. Okay, wagon goes up here. Okay, and then keep him in reserve or move him.
Well, we got 2 groups, he's gotta go this way.
Well, yeah, okay. You don't know yet that there's an Indian presence coming along. So I'm gonna say that these guys are gonna be fixed for now until Indians are hostile Indians are noted.
Yeah, so we'll go that way.
Okay, that's your turn there. All right, the next turn, I am gonna draw a card. And buffalo appear. Okay. Now I am going to roll a dice. Each area on the edge of the board is marked, so with a position. So I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll a 10-sided die to see where they come in.
Yeah.
All right. We come in 2, which is right where you're sitting. All right. Let me go get this here.
Put a lot of effort into it. How's the guy doing with the house thing? Okay.
House thing.
The guy who owns where you can stay at, bed and board and.
Oh, yeah. He's okay. He was gonna come last week, but he got in a car accident on the way and totaled out his car.
What?
Yeah, he's okay. No, so.
I hope it ain't his fault.
Yeah. Okay, now with the buffalo herd coming on. No, I don't think it was his fault. So he would have come today, but being Mother's Day, he had to stay home. All right, so there's the buffalo there. Okay. Sorry about this being so shaky, guys. Hey, I'm 70 years old. You know what? Give me a break. All right, so. Now, I'm going to roll a die, and if the die is a 6, one of the buffalo in there is the white buffalo. Very important spiritually for the Indians. So here goes. Roll the 2, not the white buffalo. Okay. So they're just there munching away. Now, since we didn't have any reinforcements, I'm going to draw the next card. Okay, another group of buffalo come in. All right. So they're going to come in over there. All right. All right, they're going to enter the board right over there by the pile of dice. Just move them on about 12 inches. Yep. Okay, and I'm going to roll to see if the white buffalo is among them. Oh! Okay. The white buffalo is with that group. There can only be one white buffalo. All right. Now, unfortunately, I don't have one painted up, but that'll be done by the next game. But we'll just have to assume that he's there. So, any hostile group that sees that, the chief's rating increases by 1.
Okay.
But it can't go more than 4. 4 is legendary, basically crazy horse. Okay. All right. So another card. Wagon trainers. Oh my God.
Didn't expect all this.
I didn't either. All right. Well, it's going to come in now over here.
How many real attacks on wagon trains were there really?
There was a lot.
Was there?
A lot.
I didn't know. I mean, you had movies and that, but
yeah, one of the worst times was actually during the Civil War, when the U.S. regulars were withdrawn from the frontier area, and they were left largely defenseless. and wagon trains that were all through the Civil War. The wagon trains were still, going to Santa Fe Trail, and the Oregon Trail.
Right.
And at that point, man, they were sitting ducks for the Comanches and the Kiowa and so forth. All right, next card. Okay, U.S. reinforcements, an officer and 10 troopers. All right, they're going to come out of the fort. The Indians are not too active at this
So
point.
I can see why this can be a solitary game.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now this is F Troop. All right, so he appears on the board.
Yeah, I watched that show.
Yeah, that was a great show. I loved the Jewish Indian chief. I can't remember that comedian's name, but he was funny as hell.
I thought it was pretty.
All right, next card. Okay, ignore that one. All right. Okay, ignore that one. Okay, this card says the drums are now beating.
Okay.
And that means that there's probably going to be some Indian activity going on here. So, all right. Next card. Okay. We're not gonna do that one now. Okay, Indian reinforcements, but the drums are beating. Normally, when I drew this card, I'd bring them in, but the drums are beating, which means that until they stop, any Indian reinforcement cards are hoarded, and then when the drums start, they all come on at once. Normally, they'll come on one a turn, but all right. Oh, okay. You can go ahead and make a move now if you want. You can tell me what you want to do over here.
Just moving through that gap.
This one, okay. All right. Okay, and then
I got a roll for F Troop. They come.
you got to roll for his leader. Yeah, 2d6. And oh, he is a 4. You got John Wayne, buddy, or at least Henry Fonda.
Okay, I'll move in.
Okay. Yep. You can move them wherever you want. Now that the drums are beating,
Okay, how much I lose?
you're going to lose an inch for each level, so you'd lose 2 inches going up the hill there. So you'd have a 10.
Yeah, right here in the green.
Sorry, guys. Yep.
They have an Historicon or not?
We don't know yet.
So that's played by ear.
Yeah. Even if they do have it, though, I kind of doubt that I'm gonna want to go to it. I mean, of course I want to go to it, but
Right, I mean, I ain't trying to be, I just, here's the thing, they're gonna get them people for 6 foot area and everything.
right.
I don't think so much with the 7 Years' War, cause that place was pretty big.
Yep.
But
Oh, sorry guys, I'm gonna pause.